Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Hi, mate. I'll kick off. Only a couple from me. First of all, a new experience for yourself. You played New Zealand, thinking the World Cup, but the first time, I don't think they were on the schedule 3 years ago. How are you looking forward to playing them in Cardiff, and to what is a new experience for a lot of the boys?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. If I get the opportunity to play against the All Blacks anywhere is pretty special. Historically, they've been the best team in the world for a number of years. I was lucky enough to get a game against them out in Japan in the bronze medal match, and they beat us comfortably in the end out there. But building on from where we've come from in the Six Nations through the summer, we need to keep on improving, building, and there's no better challenge than facing the All Blacks. And it's going to be great as well, because the lads who get the opportunity, maybe their family has never witnessed the All Blacks to play live, seeing the haka and things like that. So it'll be fantastic for the boys who get the opportunity, and to have a full capacity crowd again is unbelievable, really. We've all missed it.
Wayne has quite often spoken about playing the best. You were meant to tour New Zealand a year last summer. Obviously, that didn't happen for obvious reasons. How important is the next month in terms of your development as a squad?
Yeah, it's certainly important. Every campaign's important, especially now with 2 years leading up to the World Cup. I think it's maybe 4 or 5 campaigns before you actually get to France. So everyone needs to be better than the last one. And it's vitally important that we keep improving aspects of our game that we really want to focus on. We can implement them in these games against top quality opposition is going to be important. And to test ourselves as a squad. I know some of you will ask about injuries. We have got some, unfortunately, like that's rugby. And it's a great opportunity to see where we are in depth chart. The lads having opportunities as well, which will be great.
And internationally, you're looking forward to picking up again. South Africa for you was a whirlwind, really, for different reasons. Have you put that to bed? How disappointing was it for you? I suppose you didn't have time with your new arrival. You had to just get on with it.
Yeah, look, it was disappointing to lose the series. It was one of them where I think a few things had gone our way. We were probably in it. But first thing I was said when we came into camp was everything that's gone before us now is flushed, it's done. And this is where we begin again as a squad, trying to build and build momentum and build some confidence within the squad, and to work on our game and improve our game, take ourselves to another level, which is we're going to have to beat these teams. Certainly, it's more than capable of. We're more than capable of doing it. Sorry, as a team, and I've got no doubt that the hard work has certainly started. Believe me, we've been working hard, and I'm sure the intensity and everything that goes with that will increase next week as it comes test week, where you really start to get that little buzz and that feeling of like, here we go on Saturday.
Cheers, Josh.
Hi, Josh. If I could just jump in with a couple, mate. Kenneth touched on, your only game against the All Blacks coming out in Japan. Got into that game, you had a couple of records on your mind, and I'm not sure I saw a winger come off his wing as much as I saw you do in that game. What was your mindset heading into that when you wanted to get your hands on the ball, didn't you?
Oh, honestly, I just wanted to score. I didn't care. It didn't matter. It was obvious that I needed one more. I think it was for the records. I think the South African winger, Mimpipi, was one behind me. So, he was on fire as well. So I knew it was important that I get a try somewhere. And it came from a pick and go 2 meters out, but they all count. So it don't matter how they come.
Obviously, that's a bit of a strange game, isn't it? That third place match. You made a couple as a team. You made a few mistakes you probably wouldn't normally make and let them in. But at times when you looked after the ball, you can probably take confidence away from the problems that you managed to cause them at times.
Yeah, definitely. It's a while ago, of course. That there's a lot of change since then. But what I can remember of that day was I think Callum scored a lovely, well-worked try. And it just shows, Steve was actually the backs coach then as well. So it shows that when we have continuity in our attack, and we use the ball in the correct way, that we're super dangerous, and that's something that we're really trying to work on in these next coming weeks throughout this autumn campaign, is being as ruthless and as dangerous as we can with the ball, forwards and backs, and just to really put teams under pressure as much as we can with the ball.
I'm not going to ask you about the injuries, but they do mean that you are a bit shorter in the back three than you have been in the past. Would you be ready to step up to play 15 at this level if you had to? Because I know you've obviously done it at club level, but would that be something you're comfortable doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have no problem there if any of the coaches asked me to fill in that role for the time being, while there is a few injuries in that area. Then yeah, of course I'd give it my all, as I always do, and I'd make sure that I try and nail that role as best as I could, as if I was playing on the wing. It'd be a new challenge, which excites me as well, something different. But yeah, I'd absolutely, I'd have no issues whatsoever if that was the case.
And just lastly from me, I know it's something everybody's used to now, but in terms of the bubble restrictions this time around, is it a bit like the Six Nations where you can sort of go home on your day off but not really go anywhere?
Yes, that's how we're working it. This campaign is more or less exactly the same to how they've done it for the past 3 campaigns. So yeah, more or less exactly the same.
All right, cheers, Josh. All the best.
No problem.
Hi, Josh. Will here. How's it going?
Hi, mate.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the All Blacks week, or I suppose 10 days or so. You would have only had one before, as we said, in that 3rd place playoff, which was a bit different. But how much do you guys as a squad have to kind of try and dismantle the aura a bit and just treat them like another team rather than this whole All Blacks thing? Does that come into your process at all?
Nah, not really. We don't really see it like that, to be honest with you. We respect them, of course we do. Fantastic team, been, as I said, one of the best in the world for a number of years, coming off another rugby championship win, which is impressive. Again, they've won it, I don't know how many times in a row now. So no, we don't sort of look at it that way. Like, as I said, we respect the fact that they're a very, very good team. But then again, we're a very good team, and when we get things right, we can hurt any team. So I think Ken had mentioned that this first week has been more about us, on how we can get better, where we can improve. Aspects of course, you analyze the opposition, but not too in depth. I think next week, when we come into test week, we've banked a good week's work, working on ourselves and implementing what we feel can put them under pressure. And certainly next week will be where we analyze aspects where we potentially could get some joy with attacking the All Blacks.
The perception from, I guess, the Welsh rugby public and the outside would be that this is going to be a really tough task with, as we mentioned, the unavailabilities and the injuries and things like that. You guys are always optimistic and back yourselves as you should, Six Nations champions. What gives you that inner belief that you've got what it takes to beat these guys next Saturday?
Well, with the biggest challenge comes the biggest rewards. So why not think of it like that, where, yeah, if you like, we, maybe not at full strength, but, everyone selected for this game, in the coach's eyes, they're good enough to be international rugby players. They're good enough to be out there. And what better challenge for maybe someone who hasn't faced one of the big Southern Hemisphere countries before than to play against the All Blacks. And I think when you get that opportunity, no matter you've played 100 tests, well, 150 in Al's case, or 2 tests in some of the boys' cases, against the All Blacks, you want to show up for sure. And I think that's our mentality, where we've just got to show up as a team, and it's a massive challenge for us. But look, I'm buzzing for it, and I know that the energy is going through the whole squad, and we're all looking forward to it.
Just thinking about the calendar you've obviously got the top 3 Southern Hemisphere countries plus Fiji. Is that the kind of next step that Wales need to take, is regularly beating these guys? You've got a very, very good record in the Six Nations, but traditionally not so good in the autumn. Had a few marquee results recently, but the tide was turning with at the end of Warren, wasn't it? Is that the key now to keep that momentum going and consistently beat these guys?
Yeah, certainly. I think, that's showing how consistent we can be as a team. It's, the Six Nations is a unbelievable tournament in its own rights, and as you said, we have a good record in that. But showing up in the autumn when we play these big Southern Hemisphere teams, continuing momentum, continuing a winning run, if you like, into the autumn and beating these teams is certainly it's a fantastic statement to put down as well. And that's something I'm sure all the other nations playing in these autumn series are going to look to do, because it's a special the autumn. It's not often you get to have the big three come over and play. And it isn't often you get to play them as well, because with the past 2 years is we haven't played anyone, so it's been difficult. But look, it'll be a massive statement if we can get some victories in this autumn.
Cool, thanks, Josh.
Cheers.
Hi, Josh. It's Alex here. There's a lot of talk after the Lions that you guys could have played a bit more rugby in South Africa. That's gone now. But looking forward, do you think the style of play that Wayne's bringing will allow you with Wales to target the Southern Hemisphere teams in a different way?
Yeah, I do. I think you've seen it probably throughout the course of Wayne's 10, when he's been here, where coaching. So I think the way we go about our style of play, it's very much challenging the opposition with the ball in hand. There's aspects where you have to play sensible. It is test match rugby at the end of the day. You're not going to run from everywhere. There is opportunities too, but that is the challenge, where when them opportunities come, we've got to be good enough to take them. And it isn't just about throwing the ball around. There's obviously aspects of it where we've got to nail and get right, but challenging the team with a ball in hand, with good attacking shape, good structure, is certainly something that I think can put these Southern Hemisphere teams under pressure.
Just lastly, we've talked a lot about the style since Wayne's taken over from Warren, but every time you're coming into camp now, the longer he's been in, does it feel like it's clicking more and more each time you come in?
I think we're adding layers to our game every time, certainly, yes. I think, there's a lot more continuity with everything. Things run smoother, it's more fluent. There's a lovely flow to the day, through the weeks. Everyone's comfortable with the schedule now, and it just runs really nicely, and that sort of helps with training intensity. Everybody knows what they are, everybody knows what they're doing, and it's just nailing your detail. And he's put a real emphasis on, we've got these 2 weeks to really nail our stuff. So come a week Saturday, when the squad runs out to play the All Blacks, we're all exactly sure of what we're doing, and we're 100% confident in our role and our game plan.
Great, thank you.
Hi Josh, Katie here, hope you're well. Can I just jump in with a Wales women question then? So obviously, they've had a tough couple of years, new slate now with Nigel Walker coming in. He's kind of improving, making improvements, bringing a few new things in. Yeah. Generally, how important do you think it is for, some of the bigger stars in the men's game to throw their support behind women's rugby generally? And do you think, maybe enough is being done to kind of support Wales women as well?
Look, it's vitally important that we, as a male playing team, as the senior male team, support the Wales women. I know there's been a few things going on above my pay grade and above my head, if you like, as well. But I hopefully now, as you said, with Nigel Walker coming, these issues can be sorted out and quickly as well, because there's fantastic talent in that Wales women team. Wales have got probably the best women's play in the world, in Jasmine Joyce playing. And, I'd seen articles that she was having to finish up with the 7 stuff, is it, with the GB7s, and then go back to full-time work. And, that would be unheard of in the males game as well. So, if issues like that can be resolved, and you can get people like Jasmine Joyce, Kira Bevan, I know well. I used to live a couple of doors down from Kira. She's a fantastic player as well. If these girls can get full-time training, care, physios, everything like that, not just when they come into international camp, I think that'll benefit them massively going forward.
And I know you're not in the same, you're not both at the Vale this campaign. I know the women are in the stadium. Right. But is there much of a rapport? I know you said, Kira well, but, is there a rapport, between keeping in touch or supporting, or just generally being supportive really of each other?
Sorry, say that again. You was cutting out there.
Sorry, I know you're not in the same area this autumn, but is there much of a rapport between the teams, in terms of keeping up with what's going on, or just generally being supportive of each other?
Yes, there is. Look, it is difficult being in these bubbles. We are in different areas and things like that. But in terms of that, like the ladies' games is on night before us, or on a Sunday, it's always on here in the team room, and we're always sitting down watching it. And so we are always supporting. As I said, it is difficult in these circumstances, but they have got our full support, and we are always cheering them on.
Great, thank you, and good luck with this campaign.
Last question, I'm afraid. Any last questions?
Yeah, hi Josh. Just a quick one on the. I think you talked about the haka earlier. Are you a fan of it, and what normally goes through your head when you're facing it?
It's brilliant, the haka. It's a massive tradition of New Zealand. It's a rugby tradition as well, and it's a fantastic experience. I've watched it live once when I was in the Junior World Cup in New Zealand. We got the chance to go and watch England play New Zealand. They were on a summer series out there, and I've had the privilege of facing it once as well. So it's a fantastic experience to face the haka. It's something that you always sort of think about as a young rugby player to be able to face that, and it was brilliant.
Thank you,
Josh. I